All right, hopefully your project looks something like this so far. What we need to do next is we're gonna cut the hole for our CO2 cartridge compartment here. So this is gonna be a 3/4 inch hole that's getting drilled in the end of our car. So I am going to go into my car here, and what we wanna do is we wanna change the view and look at this from the back. Which is going to be the left side because this is the front of our car. If I do front, I can turn this, and if I'm going right, so I'm going to use the right arrows here and kind of turn here. I'm going to click on this, and I can click either left in the gizmo, or I can go view normal 2, and that's going to line it up with the view that I'm in. Okay, so this is the view that I'm in. I'm going to click a new sketch. Okay, I'm going to click a new sketch, and this is showing up here. And this is still putting this out of order. All my new sketches are supposed to show up at the end. I'm going to call this what should I do? CO2 compartment. CO2 compartment sketch. Compartment. Still want to use the word sketch in here. If you get really used to the icons, you don't need to always put the word sketch because you'll see sketches represented with a pencil. And I want this to be dragged down under the axle so it stays in my order. Okay. So I am in my CO2 compartment sketch. It's the face of this extrude. If you have not selected this face yet, make sure it says the face of the block extrude. And I can turn this, and it's showing that the end block here is orange. That's exactly what I want. And I'm going to slide this down. I'm holding the control key on my keyboard, and I'm clicking with my mouse and dragging it down. I'm not sure if it works the same on your Chromebooks or not. Okay, I'm going to split and find the center of this block, and I am drawing it 1 5/8 from the bottom here. Okay, that's kind of the dimensions that I'm using. So it's a 3/4 inch hole. So let's just put in a circle, a center point circle. Now, this is the center of my block. That's the advantage of using that center point rectangle on the bottom. I don't have to draw a construction line. If I click right here, I'm going to put it right in the middle of the block and let my dimensions change it. I'm going to make this a random size with my click. And now I'm going to type in my dimension, which is 3/4 or 0.75. So 3/4, enter. There's the size hole that we're drilling. Okay. Now we need to set this up from the bottom, 1 5/8. So I'm going to click on the center of my circle because that's where the drill bit center is going to go. And hold on, I'm going to click once there, and then click to the bottom. I can drag it to the side, and I can type. If I'm doing 1 5/8, I'm going to have to add 1 plus 5/8. Okay, in order for it to recognize it as a fraction. Otherwise, it would be 1.625. And it will change it to decimal for us right now because we have our dimensions set up as decimal. Okay, that bumped it up into the right spot. So this is the exact location for our engine compartment. If for some reason you forgot and yours is not on this center line, you can draw a center line. You can grab your line tool here, come to the top, hover until it changes to midpoint icon, which looks like this. Okay, when it gives me that midpoint, I can draw the line down through off my block and change this to a construction line. And that's going to give you your place for your circle to go. And then you can have it constrained to that or stuck to that line there. Okay. If you use your center point rectangle, you don't need to do that step. Now, next step we have to do is we want to extrude this into our block 1 7/8 of an inch deep. Okay, that's how deep we're drilling this hole. So I'm going to click on this circle so it's highlighted in orange. I'm going to go up to my extrude tool, Shift E is the hotkey. And mine, it should give you where it's drilling the hole out for you. Mine put mine out of order, so I need to fix it up a little bit. I'm going to call this my CO2 compartment extrude. CO2, you could just abbreviate CO2 compartment extrude. I'm going to click on the green arrow for me because I have to change the order, and I'm going to bring this down and resolve it there. Now, why it keeps doing that, I do not know what this sketch is. Maybe because I have an extra sketch in here that is doing nothing. Let's delete that. What happens with that? Oh, that, you know what? I never labeled the sketch. Something's wrong. This is the wedge removal sketch. So I'm just going to call this wedge sketch. So I'm not sure why everything keeps getting based off of that. Now, this extrude does not look correct. Okay, but I'm going to go into my extrude layer now that I have it in the right order, and I have to change it. So it's on add. Let's remove again because we're drilling the hole out. But now instead of going through, we want it to go, okay, a blind hole. So a blind hole is any hole which is a blind hole. It means it's flat on the bottom. And there's our drill bits will give us a blind hole that we have. We have an auger bit or a Forstner bit, which will be 3/4 inch, and that will give us a blind hole for our car. So I can accept the blind hole. That's good. But my depth needs to be 1 7/8. So 1 plus 7/8 or 1.875. I'm going to accept that. Removal. And before I click green arrow, let's just make sure it's going into the block instead of out. Okay. And I hit the check mark here. Now, I'm going to center this up on my front view just to verify. You should have about 1/4 inch material here on the top. It should be about the same as you have under the axle. It should be here on the top. So I think it's like 3/16 actually, which is fine. If this line for your CO2 compartment is touching this wedge, then you did something wrong and you have to go back and check your measurements. If I turn to the side, you see it's being bored in or drilled in. And if I go to the front, because we set this as semi-transparent, we can see the compartment here. That's all we have for this section. I welcome you back to the next section video where we're going to start actually designing your sketch and transferring your design onto this car. So at this moment, you should make sure you have your 3 sketches done. Pick out which one you want to try to do and build for class, which one you think is going to be the winning design. And that's the one we're going to come back and draw in our next video. Thanks for joining and looking forward to seeing you in the next one.